Hi guys, today I'm going to show you how to read a putt and read a green for those of you who want to get better at golf or for those of you who want to kick some butt on the putt-putt course. I've been a golfer all my life. I started when I was about 3 years old, have not dropped it since. When I was 5 years old on my 5th birthday, I actually got my nose hit with a golf club, as you can see from the scar here. I was standing behind my cousin and she swung back and hit me on the nose, and that was about all she wrote. You would think that would have steered me away, but it definitely did not. So here we are, 10 years later, and I'm still, more than 10 years later, I'm still golfing. So the first thing you're gonna wanna do when you get on a green after you hit your approach shot onto the green, if you're playing in a tournament or something, this is very, very important and very imperative, or else you can be penalized multiple strokes for this. You're gonna wanna mark your ball. So the first thing I'll do is I'll come up here, you grab your ball marker, and you mark your ball. That's the very first thing you're gonna wanna do. The second thing you're gonna wanna do is if you have a divot on the green from your ball coming in and hitting the green, you're gonna wanna replace that. There's a tool for that, then you hit it down. But then, the third thing you wanna do is look at your ball. Every divot matters when you're putting. If there's dirt on there or anything like that, it'll affect how the ball rolls and ultimately can affect how it goes in the hole. So after that, what I'm gonna wanna do is leave my mark there, but put the ball down in front of it where I marked it. Then, what I'll do is I'll take a big circular walk around the green to get a general look for how the green slopes and how it's gonna roll. While I'm doing this, I'm trying to find an imaginary line in which I want the ball to roll on to go toward the hole. So I'm walking around the hole, getting a good feel mentally for how the putt's gonna roll, how it's gonna lag up there. So I'll come behind the hole and I'll crouch down and I'll try to get a good feel and a good look for how that ball is gonna roll from the putter head into the hole. I'll walk around, still trying to get a good feel for the speed, good look at the undulation of the green, how it's sloping. I'll get behind it. By the time you get back to where the ball is, you should have a pretty good idea of how that ball is gonna roll and what the speed you want it to be is. There's a lot of things that go into putting that most amateurs do not know, and a lot of things are like the grain in which the green is rolling, and that is affected by the sun and how the grass is laying toward the sun. Some flowers will follow the sun throughout the day, and that's the same with putting grass. So you want to kind of get a look for that, whether you're going with the grain or against it, and you can just look at the green and see that. And another thing is how the grass is mowed on the green. You can see the lines in the green, and you know that if it's dark, you're going with it, and if it's light coming towards you, you're going against it. So that's just a couple things that you want to keep in mind for those amateurs who want to get better. For the other people, it doesn't really matter. So another thing that goes into putting quite a bit is the type of putter. Well, the general type of putter is a slim blade, which looks just like this. It's got this slim blade. It's not fat like some of the putters you'll see on TV and stuff like that. I use this because you can really feel the ball being hit. So another thing is the grip. A lot of people just not really even paying attention to this or anything like that, but I use a fatter grip because you get a better feel for the putter, the club face stability when you're hitting through, okay? So what you're gonna wanna do when you come back here and you have the feel for the green, feel for everything you want in the line, make sure you have your line right, and there's lines on a ball. Usually they have the general line, there's a line here, and you wanna line that up with where the line you want the ball to travel on, okay? So you're gonna wanna find your line, mark it just like that, right on your marker, and then pick your marker up. What I'll do after I pick that up is I'll come back a couple feet behind the ball and look at the hole and kind of take a couple practice strokes to try to get a feel for that speed one more time before I address the ball. So once I get up to the ball and address it, I'll take my stance, take a couple more practice strokes for that final mental feel of how that putt's gonna roll, address the ball one more time, take one more look at the hole, and then pull the trigger. Hopefully making the putt. That wasn't a very good putt, but it's a tap in, and if you're putting for birdie, that's an automatic par, and those golfers know that pars are good. So for the longer putts, what we're gonna wanna do that was about a 20-foot putt there. For the longer 30, 40, 50 feet putt, you're not gonna wanna take as much time making that putt. You're just gonna wanna, what we call, lag it up there to try to get, like I said, a tap in par. So what I'll do when I come up there is, of course, mark my ball, fix my divot if I need to, and just get a general outlook for the slope of the green going towards the hole. I'm not gonna really take much time trying to find a line or anything because it's a longer putt and the percentage of you making it is lower than what it would be from 20 feet or less. So I'll get a general outlook. I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna take much time. I'm not gonna really find a line or make a line for how I'm gonna putt it. I'll get main thing here is the speed. I'm gonna get a general outlook for the speed. Come up here, take a couple practice strokes for the speed again. Just a general line in mind. Get up here, last look, hit it. See, that wasn't very good, but you kind of get a general idea. The last type of putting that there is on a green is from the fringe. And that's generally from the fringe and in is when you're going to want to take your putter out. So what I'll usually do if my ball ends up catching up here on the fringe is the little bit of shorter grass, not as tough as the rough here, but we don't technically consider this the green yet. Is you can't touch it, you cannot mark it when it's on the fringe according to the rules, but you can definitely still get a line for how it's going to roll. You have to assume that when you hit it, it's going to bounce because this is longer grass and it's not as level and it's not as smooth. So what I usually do is I get a look for the fringe from where it's going to roll into the hole. If there's any debris, you can pick that away, anything like that. And then I'll come up to it, like I said, try to get a line for it. Find your line. Come up here, take a couple practice strokes. Practice strokes are huge in golf, of course. I'm sure you guys know that. Try to get a feel for it. One last look, then let it go. Hopefully making the putt. Once again, another tap in there. And that's basically it on how to read a green and the different types of putts. And I'm hoping today that you guys can take something from this and hopefully shave some strokes off your game or make a couple more putts to really show your friends how to golf. So that's that.